All right, let's talk about something we've all been through. That one colleague. You know the one. The person who just gets under your skin and makes work feel like a struggle. It's draining, it's frustrating, but what if I told you that feeling, that very friction, isn't a problem at all? What if it's actually a secret invitation to your next big leap in personal growth? I mean, be honest, as you're listening to this, is there a face that immediately pops into your head? For so many of us, the answer is a huge yes. You might feel completely stuck or just plain exhausted from dealing with them day in and day out. It's a tough spot to be in.
And maybe your situation looks something like this. You're trying to lead team members who have way more experience than you do. Or perhaps you feel like a referee, constantly trying to mediate fights between your colleagues. Or maybe the most confusing one of all. You have someone on your team who one manager thinks is a rock star and another thinks is a total disaster. These are real, and they are incredibly challenging.
Okay, so here's where we're gonna flip the script. I know it feels like that one person is the root of all your stress, but what if we explored a totally different angle? What if the problem isn't actually them?
This is the absolute core of what we're going to unpack. The stress, the frustration you're feeling, it's not really about that person. It's about a gap. A gap between what you expect to happen and what's actually happening. And we're going to call that feeling misalignment.
So let's put a pin in that. Misalignment is that weird, jarring feeling you get when the world doesn't work the way you thought it would. It's that internal alarm bell that goes off saying, wait a minute, this isn't right, this isn't how things are supposed to be.
And oh, this analogy is just perfect. Picture it. You're heading to your office on the 12th floor. You get in the elevator, you're on autopilot, and you accidentally hit the button for 11. The doors slide open, and for a split second, your brain just goes blank. The carpet's the wrong color, the sign is wrong. That little jolt of confusion, that is the exact feeling of misalignment we're talking about.
Now, before we go any further, I really want you to let this sink in. Feeling this way isn't a weakness. It's actually a sign that you're all in. You are so deeply invested in your work that this friction is even possible. You wouldn't be feeling this if you didn't care. It's proof of your passion.
So, if the feeling is misalignment, what's causing it? Well, it turns out the culprit is something we're going to call your success formula. And ironically, it's the very thing that probably got you to where you are today.
Let's really dig into the why. Why does reality suddenly feel so off? The answer isn't about your colleague's behavior. It's actually rooted in your own personal history of success.
It's all because of what we call successful fixed ideas. Now, this is so important. These aren't bad ideas. They're not flaws. These are the strategies, the beliefs, the methods that made you awesome at your job. They're your personal greatest hits. The only problem is they don't work forever.
Let me show you how this works. On the left, you've got a belief that probably worked wonders for you in the past. On the right, you see how it suddenly turned into a roadblock. Maybe you used to think a happy, harmonious team is a successful team, but now that idea is stopping you from navigating some much-needed healthy debate. Or maybe you always assumed leaders are older, and now you have to manage someone with 20 years more experience. See? Your old playbook is creating new problems.
This right here is the turning point. This is the exact moment we stop looking at this person as a problem and start seeing them for what they really are, a stepping stone. Think of this whole situation like a notification on your phone. It's not a bug, it's a message that says update required. The world is sending you a signal that your personal software, your collection of successful fixed ideas, needs an upgrade. This challenge is literally pointing you to the next skill you have to learn. So what does that look like? Well, that older team member, that's your chance to master leadership that's built on mutual respect, not just age. That constant team conflict, that's your personal training ground to become a master of navigating tough conversations. And that confusing performer, they are your opportunity to build a much more sophisticated management toolkit.
Look at it this way. Your old success formulas worked great for the majority rules, the common, everyday situations. But the real breakthroughs, the really creative solutions, they don't live there. They live in how you handle the minority cases, the unique, the challenging, the unexpected. This is your chance to go from just being good at your job to being truly innovative. Okay, so how do we actually put all of this into practice? We're going to reframe this whole thing one last time in a way that makes it feel powerful and maybe, just maybe, even a little bit fun. It's time to start the game.
It really comes down to this simple 3-step mindset shift. It's a total game changer. First, you acknowledge, okay,
This feeling of friction is starting with my old rules. Second, you redefine. This isn't a problem, it's a mission. And finally, you gamify it. This whole situation is a game, and I'm ready to play.
And with that, let's give that difficult colleague a brand new title. They're not your nemesis, they are your distractor. Their role in your story, their entire purpose, is to be so unique, so challenging, that they force you to break out of your old patterns. In a way, they're the secret mentor you never knew you needed, here to help you level up.
So let's wrap it all up with this. That person isn't there to make your life harder. No. A unique distractor has just entered your game to help you grow. And when you start to see it that way, everything changes. The burden becomes a challenge. The frustration becomes fuel. And honestly, what's more fun than a game you know you can win?
So I want to leave you with this one question. Think about that person, the one who's been causing you all that stress. Now try looking at them through this new lens. Who is the distractor in your life right now? And what amazing new level are they here to help you unlock?